Previously, we created our document and set up our initial profile. Now we're going to move on to the next step. But before we do, I'm going to download all of the resources which we are going to need to create the layout. So let's go ahead and download the zip sources. And these should be, I'm just going to hide Chrome for a second here and Illustrator. And let's go to downloads. Here's the challenge zip. We'll open up the zip file and we will see the text file and the artwork, which we will place inside of our template. And then I have a screenshot of what the template should look like. All right, so we'll come back to this in a moment. Let's go back to, nope, that's what I've been listening to with music today, so we don't need that. It's down here somewhere. There we go. All right, so what we will do next is set the color settings. So let's go back to Illustrator, and I'm first, when we created the document, we named the document, but this isn't necessarily saved somewhere. So let's go and select Save. I'm going to save on my computer. You can save your files wherever you like. I prefer keeping them on my desktop or my computer. All right, so I'm just going to go to the desktop, and here's the challenge folder, which we just unzipped. So I'm just going to save my prior.ai file right inside this challenge folder. All of these settings will be fine, so we'll select OK. Let's go back to Chrome, and on our settings we want our working space to be sRGB 2.1, and we're going to select US web-coded swoop version 2, and this has to do for the type of substrate that we would be working with, which would be a coded stock. And the setup might be different depending on what you're trying to achieve and different classes, but the instructors in those classes will have you set up the files the way that you need to for those projects. All right, so let's go back to Illustrator, and let's just first take a look at the File menu. You can go back and get to some of the basic document setups if you need to make some changes. This is the document color mode. In that previous step, we set this to CMYK, but you can always convert your document color mode to RGB. So we're in CMYK for right now. Okay. Then let's go to the Edit menu, and we're going to go to Color Settings. And we're going to work with RGB, sRGB, because we want our color to be standardized red, green, and blue. But again, depending on the project, depending on the class, they may have you work with different color models. But we're going to stay with sRGB, and the same would be true here in this option. I'm just going to have you stay with CMYK US web-coded swoop version 2, and again you could set color based on these different profiles depending on the print process that you're working with. Okay, we should be fine. So let's click OK. And I believe we are now ready to begin adding the artwork to create our template.